the Vietnam Veterans Association because I got to meet him at the bowl. I might have the opportunity to present that to the Vietnam veterans community. That then could shout out throughout the United States. As for myself, coming back from Afghanistan in 2012, I gained some weight, went through some issues out there. I've had some joint pains. 2013, in December of 2012, December of 2013, January 2014, terrible back lockup that had been going on for like the last 3 years. Not because of my bone structure, but because of my organs. My spleen, deadline, liver, acidic. Cleanse, balance, build is the weapon system to use, to engage your body. And it can free you because it gives your body the armaments it needs. And as far as entrepreneurship goes, there's a lot of ways to make money. We are all in an industrial 20th century model where we are chasing our paychecks. It's not easy, it's hard, but the people that I've invited in this room tonight, I haven't stopped because I believe and because it works. And this is an avenue where if you want to gain your health back and secure your life, because once your health goes, it doesn't matter. You can also then work to build residual income, to free yourself financially. And I'm going to do that, and I'm going to leave the legacy of health and wealth for my family. It may take me 4 years, it may take me 5 years, but there will be people that come. There will be people that sign up. And that is the testimony I have. I'm healthy, I'm free, I'm engaged, and I'm going to take this message to everybody, and I'm going to take it to the world because I will be able to do that in the military, and I'll be able to do that in life. So, thank you.
Woo!
He goes to the same chiropractor I did. And the lady said to me, I never met him. And she said when he first started coming there, he walks like an old man. She literally said he was bent over walking like an old man. That's the truth.
Wow.
I just met the guy. I just met him.
That's cool.
Okay. It's true.
Okay, this is Marie.
Hello. Okay, so my name is Marie Cochran. I am from a very small country, Haiti. Y'all probably know about it. We had an earthquake a couple years ago. But anyways, I have always been fascinated with natural medicine. So I have 3 small children. My oldest is 5 years old, and so I'm always the one like with all my weapons, you know, you've got an issue, okay, garlic, you know, do this, cilantro, parsley, you know, everything. And when I got a hold of Genesis Pure, it took it to another level for me. Autoimmune issues, our major one was allergies. My mom, oh my goodness, growing up, it was like all the time, she's sneezing, and I'm like, oh my gosh, you know, I hope I never start with this thing, and I started with it, and my babies would get it, you know, the doctor would say, oh, you see the puffiness under their eyes, and all those things to look for, and I was like, okay, this is what I really need to target, and this is what did it for me. Mangosteen, I mean, this whole line, all my babies get it. Like now, whenever I get a new IBO, my babies, we do little videos for them. Sending it off, saying, okay, you're getting started on your products, here you go. And Nathan goes through every one, they know all of them. So yeah, I train them the way they should go. So that's a blessing. My mother, she's in Haiti, she's a missionary, and she texted me not too long ago, and she said how she doesn't have joint pains anymore. And how she has the energy to speak when the missionaries come to her, how she has the energy to speak to them and carry out her day and be able to start the next day. That's another blessing. My husband, we were just talking about it the other day because he went through a time, he was military, and he went through a time where he had headaches, migraines so bad that he thought he had brain cancer. And my husband doesn't talk very much, but he would be on the internet hours looking at brain cancer, saying, oh, I'm going to die soon. Stuff and we're like, the other day, we're like, oh my goodness, you don't have the migraines anymore. And my pastor will tell you, my husband has completely changed. He won't say anything about the products because he's a skeptic, and pray for him. But anyways, every morning when I line everything up, he's like, and he takes it down faithfully. Because he knows what it does for him. So I just want to encourage everybody that's getting started on this journey, do it, you know, because we cannot, like, what we're fighting against here, and we don't even know what's in our body. Like, we talk, like Rachel was saying, that I don't have gut issues. I'm like, well, I don't care if I don't have a gut issue. I don't know, but I'm still taking it. You know? It doesn't matter what you think you have or what you don't have. Put it in. You know what I'm saying? Because that's the best way that we have to defend ourselves against everything that we're fighting from the moment we wake up. So, I think that's it.
Right here from Nelson, half of these people people I did not know. I would say 90% of the people that are sharing tonight, I did not know 6 years ago. And I did not tell them about this. Someone else did, which is what makes it so great.
So I get to know David and Marie.
Yeah.
I've been doing this for a while too, so I have lots of little stories. So I'm going to try to just tell you a few of them. But I'm married to a doctor. But number one thing that I like about this company is that it gives me the ability to help people, and I don't have to send them to him. And also, it's a nice way to kind of bridge the gap between your Western medicine and your Eastern medicine. And I know we all know that there's power in that. You know, I mean, there's a time and a place for everything, and we've got something that we can offer to fill that gap, and which is non-existent in the U.S. right now. But I want to speak to those people who are sitting here that don't think they have anything wrong with them, because I was one of those people. I come from a very healthy family. I did not eat a lot of sugar, didn't have all that stuff growing up in my household. We had 3 square meals a day. They always had a vegetable. Didn't have white bread in the house. None of that stuff that we know better about today. And I thought I didn't have any problems. But I knew that I wanted to stay healthy, and I wanted to live for a very long time. So I got involved because of that. I also got involved because of the business. I do have a very good business mind, and when I see something that's a good product and a good potential, you know, I'm always thinking. So that's another reason why I got involved. But for me, I didn't realize that my headaches, I used to have headaches, just low-grade headaches every day, especially when we moved to Florida because it's hotter down here. But I didn't think that was related to my nutrition, and lo and behold, it was. And so, but taking Mila, the Goyen, doing, I'm trying to think, the sulfur all started to help my headaches. Gone. I was on prescription strength Advil for my husband because I could do that. And I knew that wasn't exactly a good thing for me over the long haul. The other thing that you did ask you as a NONI testimony, I have a NONI testimony. I don't always have stomach issues, but if I eat a lot of, I don't know, I do eat ice cream. If I eat a lot of ice cream, I get stomach issues. There's certain things that give me issues. If I take a shot of NONI, and I have it every day, but if I take an extra one, gone within 10 minutes. Tums does not work. None of that stuff works. Never worked for me. That works great. And then the other reason I realized that I had something amazing is that I started to get phone calls from people at like 7 a.m. freaking out that they felt amazing. And I even had a guy try the energy, and he was worried. He had just come off with a big workout, and he was worried he was going to be all sore. He like took his energy and started dancing around me and just twirling. And I mean, I've had like the best stories, and I meet the best people through this, and get to share with amazing testimonies. So, you know, I'm in it for the long haul, and this is just an amazing company. So.
Woo! Thank you.
You have a good business mind, she has an MBA, just so you know.
Yeah.
I did not talk about the Immune 6 or the calcium. Just so you know, these aren't all the products. I missed some, but this is my lovely friend Loli, who I did not know before this business.
And she did not ask me to speak before.
I didn't ask anybody to speak. I surprised all of them. Maybe
Did you
like
really?
maybe
Did you
4 or 5 minutes. No, maybe 4 or 5 minutes.
So I can stand up here and speak about many aspects of this. I am a medical doctor, and I did a lot of research on the products in the company, on the business plan. I had no idea of what this business plan was about. But what I'll share with you tonight, which I think is the most important part, is very personal. That, as you can tell, not only am I a doctor, but I've had severe rheumatoid arthritis for over 30 years. And because of that, of course, I've had to take all kinds of incredible medications to control my disease. And I always supplemented. I did so. I mean, you can ask my daughter right there how many pills. I have a picture on my iPhone of all the pills, supplemental things I would take to try to maintain the health of my vital organs. So I always said I never thought that rheumatoid would kill me. I thought that a sedentary lifestyle would. So I was always very active. I always tried to maintain my physical fitness. But about 7 years ago now, I had what's considered a very serious complication of rheumatoid, which is called rheumatoid vasculitis, where I had little black spots at the end of my fingertips, and they hurt. And I was sick. I mean, I was sick. my numbers, my objective laboratory numbers were crazy, and I was sick. I didn't feel well, and I still kept in touch with one of my favorite rheumatologists up in DC, where I went to medical school, and I called her up, and she goes, "Oh my God, you've got vasculitis." And what it is that the little B cells in the white cell line that's causing the inflammation was causing necrosis on the tips of my fingers. But not only does that happen on your skin, it happens in your organs. And she said, if you don't do something about this really aggressively, you could be dead in 2 years. So I had been through all of the remittive medications that a rheumatoid could take. So they started me on basically what's chemotherapy. And I still go twice a year. Well, every 6 months I go and get chemotherapy infusions. And it's the same chemotherapy that's given for B-cell lymphoma, because it's the same bloodline, okay? So I go, I get an infusion, 2 weeks later I get another infusion, 6 months later I go again, get an infusion, 2 weeks later, right? About a year ago, I had been watching, I get my blood levels drawn, and I could see my liver functions slowly creeping up. So I said to my rheumatologist, I said, have you noticed that my liver functions are like doing that? And I swear, you guys, he looked right at me and he said, well, we are poisoning your liver. All right, here we go. So thankfully, Sarah was introduced to this company and its products by Allison, by that young woman back there. And I started taking the products in March. I didn't start sharing until June because I was like, no, I've got to look into this stuff, right? And by mid-July, my liver functions are completely normal.
Wow.
Completely normal.
Wow.
I mean, low normal, not just completely. So my plan, because you may ask, well, what are you going to do about your medicines, right? Because I still have to take my medicine, right? But my plan is to try extending. Instead of going 6 months, I'm going to start going 7, then start going 8, and just see what happens. I mean, that's all I can do. And believe me, I'm very cautious with that. But, and by the way, when I go get these infusions, because they're so nasty, I have to get a huge dose of intravenous steroid. I get pre-medicated with a huge dose of, a huge bolus of steroid. Believe it or not, Tylenol and Benadryl before I even get my chemo. And then I'm good to go. But, I mean, I'm very functional. I'm not in pain all the time. And my liver functions are great, so that's all. And I could go on and on about stuff here, but
Your mom's so cute.
Sounds like a true doctor.
Carissa, I'm completely surprised, so she's trying to fight me quick.
I did it, yeah. I'm here because of Cindy. This is my other half, Jim. And Cindy called me and said, introduced the product to me, and I was one of those ones that thought nothing was wrong with me as well. So, but I got into it because of her, and I believed in what she believed in, and I jumped on in. Personal story of mine, I'm a night shift worker. Matter of fact, in a little bit I'm going to work. Energy has increased for me, and my digestive system has gotten better. I was one of those ones that took the Plax on a daily basis in order to stay regular. I don't have to take that anymore. I actually do all that away. And on a more personal note, my testimony is sitting right here, my mom. I was saying, baby, sorry. I'm just been recently diagnosed with breast cancer, and so it was all by surprise. And when the products were introduced to me, I gave it to her maybe about 3 weeks ago, and just to give it to her to see if she'd try it. And my mom's one of those ones that if you have older adults in your life, they're going to believe everything the doctor gives them to say and take, they're going to take it. So I said, Mom, just take this. It's products that's been doing well for me. This ain't help with your energy while she's going through chemo. And fortunately, she started taking it. And for the last maybe 3 weeks, my mom was on the verge of going to neutropenic precautions her red blood cells was low, and she's been taking it for the last 3 weeks, and I tell you what, her numbers are through the roof. I mean, even the nurses that's giving her chemo even told her, "Wow, I wish all my patients' results look like it is," you know, because usually the more you take chemo, because she's going in her 5th week, I believe, of chemotherapy, it just tears you down and get more and more weaker. But here she is, looking, energy looking good. I just want that product. She came to my house, I need some more Goyen. I ran out of Goyen. So I gave her some more of that, and she said, I'm not changing nothing. I'm just going to take this clean, balanced feel. I'm going to make sure this is what's working for me. And she started sharing it to her friends, and she said, I'm not interested in business. I just want to take the product, which is fine. But it works, and I'm just a personal testimony of that, and also my mom is a personal testimony as well.
What is wrong with you?
Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh my gosh, I'm so glad you shared. With a couple, Lauren Erickson is going to share, and I have no idea what these two are going to say, but they're going to say something about why they love Genesis Pure. So, everyone, this is Lauren Erickson. She's one of our top builders here in the area. Glad you are on her team. Hi.
Oh, okay. I am obsessed with Genesis Pure. I'm obsessed with these products, and for good reason. They work. And, you know, I was one of those people that was extremely healthy when I found out about this. I was very natural. I buy everything in my house that I buy is organic. I have raised my children since birth, organic food, and I used to make their baby food. I mean, anybody in my family knows I'm pretty fanatical. You know, my last child was born in my bedroom, like very natural, a little crazy. But here's the kicker. When I found out about Genesis Pure, even though I was so natural and taking such good care of myself, I was getting sick all the time. I was having migraines. I had multiple digestive issues like irritable bowel syndrome, constipation. I was having pain in my body. My energy levels were awful. And my mood was, you know, I had mood swings, stuff like that, because I had 2 forms of kryptonite. I was eating tons of sugar, and I was drinking a ton of coffee. And I would always, complain to my husband and say, what is wrong with me? I'm getting sick all the time. What is wrong with me? And he'd say, I don't know, babe, you're the healthiest person I know. And I have no idea. And so when I saw the video for Genesis Pure from our dear friend Rachel, you know, I saw the philosophy behind these products, and I was like, this is it. This has to be what I am missing, and it has changed our lives completely. I mean, it has done so far and above what I even thought it would do for my health and the health of my family. And so, you know, we came in with a 1,500 pack. We wanted everything that they had. And Cleanse, Balance, and Build immediately started seeing some amazing health benefits for me. Migraines started going away completely, no headaches, stuff like that. I didn't want to drink as much coffee. I wasn't craving the sugar. My digestive issues resolved literally overnight, and that was amazing. And sleeping better mood. I have 3 little kids. I'm a stay-at-home mom. My daughter just turned 6 today, but when I found out about this, my kids were 5, 2, and under 1. So my life was very crazy. Being a stay-at-home mom, you drink tons of coffee, you eat a lot of sugar because you're always baking cookies and, treats with your kids and little things like that. And so that was my day, and I struggled, through every day. By 4 or 5 o'clock, I'm laying on the couch like, Mommy's done. And I noticed that I was, when it's time to cook dinner, I'm like excited, I'm happy, I'm playing music, we're having dance parties in the living room. Like, I started noticing that my life, everything about me was like, I was coming to life. Like, this is who I always knew I was, but it was starting to come out. My health was changing, and that was amazing. My son, he was getting sick all the time, and he, since birth, struggled with horrible eczema. Like, this baby boy, his feet and his ankles and his legs would be just cracking skin, peeling, dry, and nothing would help. You know, I'd put Aquaphor on him, lotion, bathe him in oatmeal baths, and it would help a little bit, but it would never go away. And the doctor kept telling me, it's his diet. Have you tried this? Have you tried that? Oh, get him off dairy. I'm like, he's already off all the dairy, you know? And then, so he started taking Mila every day, and then he does the Daily Build and the Goyen and the mangosteen. Andrew said the other day, have you seen Drew's legs? I said, I know. They look amazing, like baby skin. Like when a baby's born, it's awesome. So, you know, and my daughter, I took Mila when I was pregnant with her, and then I took it in place of a prenatal vitamin because I believed in it so much. And then I have fed Mila to my babies ever since they were 6 months old. And my daughter has the immune system of, like, she is amazing. I wish I had an immune system like hers because the child hardly ever gets sick. I mean, she's been in kindergarten and she's been sick like once, and it was for a couple days, and then she bounces back like that. And she's just, my kids are just so healthy, and I'm so thankful that I have them on these products. And then a big part of my why for doing this business is my husband. But I'll talk about his health for one thing. Andrew was the hardest man to get to take a vitamin, and I know, you know, a lot of you wives be chasing your husbands around the house like I was, trying to get them to take one multivitamin. It was the best multivitamin I could buy at Publix, and I could not understand why he didn't want to just swallow one vitamin.
I like
And
the
now,
gummies.
what?
I like the gummies.
He wanted to gummies. Anyway, now, like, I started noticing he's jumping out of bed, he's lining up his, you know, super fruits and Daily Build, and he's taking all his stuff, and I mean, I'm like, I didn't even have to coerce him to do that or try, you know, it's just amazing, and he has an awesome health testimony that he can tell you about, so it has changed our family's life. And now he's running with the business and excited about it, and, you know, he was my why. He was the reason I sat on the airplane coming home from the Genesis Pure Conference in May, closing my eyes, thinking about the amazing experience I had just had, seeing countless couples and normal people walk across the stage and share, you know, how they're making millions of dollars or hundreds of thousands of dollars, and just normal people, and how their health were changing, and how their marriage was amazing, and how happy they were. And I just thought about all of that, and then I thought about my amazing husband, and how I barely got to see him because he worked so hard for our family of 5, how he's stressed out, and he's always working so hard and giving 150% of himself to all of these other people, and, you know, barely getting to spend time with our kids and stuff like that. And I just began to cry, and I'm like, you know what? This works. I'm going to work as hard as I possibly can for as long as I have to, so that my husband doesn't have to work as hard as he is, so that he can enjoy his life. And now it's starting to come true because he realizes, he's seen those checks coming in the mail every week, and he's like, you know what, I'm going to help you. And he's excited, and so it's like, you know, it's all coming around, and it's awesome. I'm excited. This is her wonderful husband. I have no idea what he's going to say, but go ahead.
She looks nervous.
I used to work for him. He ran our office. And so Teresa, Lauren, and I all worked in the same office, and now he owns his own business, and he works with a lot of different physicians and has a consulting company, and so we're very blessed to have him on our team, but it is exciting to see the men wake up. And I tell people all the time, with ladies or men who want to get your spouse involved, bring in the money. Once you start to bring in the money, it starts to become very exciting just all around. And so I don't know if that's what excited Andrew, so like I said, I don't know what he's going to say, but I'm very glad he's on our team.
Well, I am excited to be here and glad to be on her team. I've known Rachel for about 8 years, I think, somewhere around there. And, you know, I guess the past, I don't have but like 5 minutes. She has a timer on me, so I have to make it a very brief testimony. My health has improved dramatically, my family's health, but I want to talk more about what it's done for me as a professional. So basically, I've had my own company since 2007, 2008, and you know, I've helped a lot of physicians. We have our clients, basically, I have about 12 employees now. We have four of the major independent cancer centers from Jacksonville to Orlando are clients of mine. I helped build one in Orlando. It does probably $40 million a year now. And I say all that to say I've seen the effect of cancer firsthand. I have a family member here tonight that's been through cancer. We've had her mother's been through cancer. And so through all this time working with doctors and seeing, just hearing some of the things that go on in medicine, making them very wealthy, I started to question some of what was fulfilling me. I was making very good money. You know, I didn't need to do this business because of money. She started doing it on her own, and I was kind of like, why are you wasting your time with that at first? You know, you need to spend time with the kids, you need to be, at first, and then I just realized, like, she really needed something else to do as a stay-at-home mom that she was passionate about, and that she could enjoy. And so, anyways, basically what happened, my transformation came, we went to Dallas about 3 weeks ago, 3 or 4 weeks ago, and seeing these people come across the stage who were in similar situations as I was. They all work, and most of us here have jobs or stay-at-home moms. It's probably the hardest job in here. But what struck me as odd is there was a 20-year-old, and I've told this story a few times in this year in Dallas, and what I'm going to say, but there was a college kid that came across, and he was a Ruby in the company, which is about $120,000 a year, and he achieved it, I think, in like 8 weeks or something crazy. And talking to people, didn't have money, didn't have any, had a very low center of influence. So, you know, I saw him, I'm like, seriously, this kid, you know, he looked like he was 12, you know, like who listens to him, you know, like who would actually listen to this, you know. So I was sitting on the plane on the way back. I started to make a list, and I mean, I know a lot of people, but what I realized, like, even beyond what I knew I could do financially, the fulfillment that I've had in the past, 4 weeks of working with my team directly, working with my wife hand in hand, it's been the most rewarding part of, of a long time. I mean, so I'm not gonna, dang, I'm so emotional with these things. I don't know why. Such a wuss. So, anyways, our marriage has been amazing. I literally, like, even this morning, so yesterday I was in Orlando, the day before, I stayed the night in Orlando on Tuesday night. Was there, went back down this morning, turned around, came back, made it to the, made it here by 6:15. But, people say, oh, I don't have time to do this, I don't have this, and they have excuses. And so, like, I know for a fact how the limited amount of time I have to, I probably have 2 hours of really free time every night, because, and it's only because I can turn off my phone, because, we have, my clients, I have a call, people text me, hey, can we have a call tonight, I've got this emergency or something. It's BS, it's their emergency, but it falls on me as a business owner. So, but the 2 hours of free time that I've had in the past 3 or 4 weeks, we've increased. She was doing it on her own. She was making about $2,000 a month. In the past 3 weeks, we now are around $5,000, $6,000 a month. And really, it's only come because I have realized that it's not about what I can do for myself or my family. It's really about building others. And something I heard at the conference was, you have to focus on what you can get, not on what you're going to get. And if you take the approach of being a salesperson and just going to everybody trying to sell them something, they're going to see through that, and they're going to say, hey, you're just trying to get this so you can make $100. But if you take a genuine interest in somebody, which is really how my business has become. I don't want to make it about what I've built in the medical side, but I could focus on that and build it and have a multi-million-dollar company, and it's already worth over $1 million now, but it's not fun anymore. It's so stressful. It gives me a lot of anxiety. I told her like 6 months ago, I thought I was going to have a heart attack. I was like, I had so much anxiety and just stress over this stuff. But the fulfillment that I've had in working with my team and helping them realize their dreams, helping them, see success, and then becoming better people, becoming a better leader. I'll just do a quick 2 things. So I started the first company with a partner. I just want to give this as an illustration. So I was 20 years old. I bought my first home before I could even legally drink. Legally, I did drink. I'm just kidding. No, so, But, and I was working somewhere, and this guy came up, he had this opportunity, just like tonight. It was an opportunity but it was a business, it was a physician recruiting business. And it took about $40,000 to start. And so we it cost us $1,800 to get into business, and we get a bunch of product out of it, and it's kind of ironic that. So anyways, I refinanced my house, came up with $40,000, left my job where I was making about $50,000 a year, and focused on building this new company. And I went 6 months without making a penny. I was moving people from Miami to Jacksonville to make a few $1,000s. The guy who I was partners with, he was signed up for the debt. And so I took all the loans, but we were equal partners, and he was assigned on the debt and all that. So, in theory and on paper, we were equal partners. The problem was, they say success is where preparation meets opportunity. Probably, most of you have probably heard that before. Well, I think really success is where preparation meets opportunity when it's married to ambition. Because if you're not ambitious and you don't have something that's driving you, and in our business we call it our why, if you don't have something that's driving you to success and pushing you when you get knocked down, you're not going to make it. And that's exactly what happened to him. I would be up till 3 in the morning working, figuring things out. I learned how to design websites. I learned all about email marketing. I learned how to do some crazy things that, and it ended up working out. The difference was I was working so hard because I had the mortgage, I had 2 cars, I wasn't even married at the time. I can't imagine but I had things that I had to pay for. Meanwhile, he was my roommate, he couldn't even afford to pay me rent. So, of course, so my point in saying that is I think anyone can make it in this business. I'm nothing special at all. I mean, and I won't say you would attest to that, but a lot of my family would say, no, I mean, the only thing that makes me special and different is that I don't take no for an answer. I told myself, I was in the shower, and I had to borrow money from my mortgage from my grandfather, and I remember saying to myself, I said, I was praying, and I just committed to myself. I said, I don't care if I'm sleeping on the street. I'm not going to fail. And I said, I'm just not going to happen. And I got out of the shower, and literally, I mean, I couldn't, you couldn't have, I mean, a movie, couldn't even really capture the moment, because it was, literally, I get out, dry off, 45 minutes, I get a phone call, and the first deal came through. It was $35,000. And from that moment on, I knew that really, dang it, jeez.
Go, Andrew. Go, Andrew.
In business, it's not about, it's not about how smart you are. That helps. It's not about money you have. Again, that helps. But if you have drive and you are teachable, you can do anything. And